Hi, for what it's worth, I'm Mike. This is Justin, and today we're, for what it's worth, all about the NXT Takeover in Phoenix this weekend.
Yeah, what a show coming up.
Oh my.
There's not one match that I'm not excited for.
Whew, I'm excited for all of them. I always am.
Yeah.
NXT really kicks ass, in my opinion, and I love it. For what it's worth, I'm going to continue to watch them, even NXT UK.
Yeah, NXT does so much more right. I mean, it starts from the 1 hour show. Just, you have less time to lose
Yeah,
viewership.
you focus on the 1 hour instead of 3 hours just to stuff things in that don't even fit, like on Raw.
Yeah, and in the 3 hours, they just put a bunch of stuff that's not
Fluff.
necessary. So that 1 hours every week is incredible, and that leads to an exciting takeover coming up on Saturday.
Absolutely. The NXT shows always are action-packed because it's only an hour, and everybody's trying to earn that time.
Mm-hmm.
So coming up this weekend, we have a few title matches, a big change, I feel. I think this is the second or third biggest day or pay-per-view coming up this weekend with the Royal Rumble on Sunday and NXT TakeOver on Saturday. I see a lot of NXT call-ups for the Royal Rumble. Some will stay, some won't, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But first, we're going to go over the beginning matches. The first one I see would be Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno. And in that, we saw last TakeOver, Matt Riddle beat Cassius Ohno in an impromptu map that lasted less than 7 seconds. Unbelievable. Ohno got nailed by Riddle's knee, and it was over.
Yeah, I don't see that happening again. I see it being a pretty good match, and in the end, Matt Riddle's going to take it. I feel like WWE's kind of trying to push him a little bit.
Well, yes, because he's new and all, but I see Cassius Ohno was a quality wrestler. He is talented. He just doesn't get many opportunities. Mm-hmm. And so he's forcing an opportunity as he jumped Matt Riddle a few times during the course of the last 2 weeks, getting into this point. So this really got under Riddle's skin, and especially what Ohno did to Keith Lee last week with another cheap shot, low blow, knocking Keith down, and Matt came in to save at the end. But I see a very, very heated match, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a good 20-minute match. Definitely excited. But I'm not excited. I'm not as excited for that match as I am for the upcoming matches. The one I see next on the card is War Raiders versus Undisputed Era.
Well, first, before we get to that one, who do you think is going to win Cassius Ohno versus Matt Riddle?
It's going to be Matt Riddle.
I think Matt Riddle's going to kill him, too. When he made him tap out with those elbows to the side of the face, I've never seen anybody get tapped out that way. I was impressed.
Yeah, so back to War Raiders versus Undisputed Era. You have O'Reilly and Roderick Strong versus the War Raiders. Kind of excited. They always put on a good show.
Well, formerly known as War Machine, now War Raiders, they really had a good promo 2 weeks ago with their Viking setup and how they were going to take apart the Undisputed Era. I honestly think they're talented enough to defeat Undisputed Era, but with the numbers game, 4-on-2, I know the other two aren't in the match, and they have matches. Well, no, actually, they don't. They don't have any other matches on that card, so they could be around and involved in this match to keep War Machine from winning the title. I mean, War Raiders, winning the titles. I feel, though, this is the time for the War Raiders. I think they're going to win.
Yeah, Undisputed Era has half their stable going on Saturday night. Yeah, Bobby Fish and Adam Cole aren't fighting. They're going to interfere. But I still feel like the War Raiders are going to win because it just makes too much sense for me for Undisputed Era to get called up right now. I mean,
they have a lot of opportunity in front of them, win or lose.
Adam Cole's a great wrestler. He doesn't have a match. He doesn't have a title. He'll be fresh. He'll probably get called up. Bobby Fish, probably the same situation, even though he lost to Velveteen Dream last TakeOver.
I see a lot with Undisputed Era that can happen from that last night's match and from the week before where, he lost twice, last week and this week, or EC3 and now to Velveteen Dream, and a little bit of ruffle in the chink in the armor, if you will, because I don't see Adam Cole accepting the losses as much as they do, especially as they put that little seed in of, is it okay if I talk to you? Can talk now, Bobby, if it's okay with Adam. That line right there. is a seed that's planted, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like they're going to call up going to the Royal Rumble. And at that point, it's all hell breaks loose. And we'll see how they take the stable from there.
Lots of Royal Rumble information on our other video. Now, next in line will be undefeated Bianca Belair versus Shayna Baszler, the Queen of Spades. What do you think?
I'm not sure. I mean, they're both very talented. Belair's undefeated, but I feel like Belair's gonna win, keep her undefeated streak going. There's a lot of 4 horsewomen talk and rumors, so I'm expecting Baszler to lose and end up being in the women's Royal Rumble match.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
So I expect also Belair to win, not win handily, but win. And I see Baszler moving with the Shavir and Dukes up to the Royal Rumble. Whether they stay there, I don't know. We'll find out. But I see that creating the 4 horsewomen of the MMA and the potential of Sasha, Bayley, Charlotte, and maybe even Becky all being in that Royal Rumble at the same time. And it may or may not happen that way. But I do believe if she still has the title, she won't be able to do that mix. So I think Belair will win.
Yeah.
On to the second of 2 big main events. Johnny Gargano for the North American Championship versus Ricochet, the champion.
Yeah, if you guys didn't see NXT this past week, it's a must-watch.
Ooh, yeah, especially the ending.
You have a puppet master in Tommaso Ciampa influencing this match, and he's not even in this match.
Right. The DIY reunion? Could it happen?
It's got to happen at some point, but I don't think it happens this takeover.
Will his wife, Johnny's wife, break it up, get a divorce, move on? Or will they just not connect and she is the divider? What do you think?
Well, I think there's going to be some sort of interference. I don't think it's going to be from Johnny's wife.
No, I don't either.
I think she'll try and talk Johnny out of it, but I don't see her being successful.
See her going there after the fact, after they've already connected, after they've done it all, and meaning that either Ciampa helps Johnny win the title from Ricochet, or Johnny helps Tommaso hold on to his title. I see interaction between the two, but with Johnny and Ricochet, it's going to be a great match, lots of action. Both of them are really talented, but I do see Ricochet holding on to that title.
I see Johnny winning it.
Do you?
Yeah. Johnny's going to win an incredible match, but it's going to be because of interference from Ciampa.
Okay.
He's going to somehow...
I believe that. It could happen that way.
Freak out Ricochet has this weird effect on Johnny where he does the same look every time, and it's kind of creepy.
Yeah, he's kind of clueless.
Yeah, it's like his mind just disappears.
Yeah, like Aleister Black said, he is the puppet and Tommaso is the puppet master, and he's dangling the cords. That kind of thing. So I see Ricochet still winning, still holding on, because how are you going to get Johnny and Ciampa to be the new DIY tag team champions if they have the other titles? They won't. So I see Ricochet holding on, and then to the main event, Ciampa versus Black. Fade to Black. Who do you think's gonna win? I think they already know who I think's gonna win.
I'm saying Ciampa's gonna win.
Ciampa.
If Johnny's gonna win because of Ciampa, Ciampa's gonna win because of Johnny. It's gonna be a weird play. It's gonna be you did this for me, I'm gonna do this for you.
Or is it like when Aleister lost and Ciampa, was going to be hit by Johnny, but Johnny ended up hitting Black, and then Ciampa knocked him out and ended it and got the title. So he didn't want to, so it says, win or cost Black the title. He wanted to fight Tommaso himself, but now he's the champion, and he wanted to get a title shot, but he's not gonna. He already had his tries. So Ricochet won't be involved in this match. If anybody does, it will be Johnny for Ciampa, and a similar role reversal where he hits Ciampa by accident and Black may win the title, but I think he'll hit Ciampa and hit Black and Black will lose, and Ciampa will hold on. And Black will be in the Royal Rumble on Sunday. He is one of my predictions.
Yeah, that's a bold prediction but I see Johnny. I don't know. I see Johnny causing Ciampa to win somehow. I don't know exactly how he's got that Puppet Master effect.
Yes.
And that Puppet Master thing can really go a long way in the storyline.
I see at the end of that pay-per-view with Johnny holding Ciampa's hand up, Johnny's wife coming out.
Yeah.
That's what I see. Yeah, that'll be great.
Yeah.
Now, after this card, we already know there's 6 call-ups from NXT to either SmackDown or Raw, but the main rosters. And at the Royal Rumble on Sunday, that will most likely get most of their exposure. Those 6 were heavy machinery with EC3, Nikki Cross, Lacey Evans, and then there's Lars Sullivan. There's a lot of talk about Lars Sullivan. We could almost make a whole video on him. But Lars had some anxiety issues on some dark matches with SmackDown and Raw and was allowed some time off by Triple H. But as far as what Triple H said in yesterday's conference call for the shareholders, he said that Lars is still right on track. Nothing has changed with him and everything, he's good to go. So with that information, I believe they're holding him out until the Royal Rumble, where he'll make a lot of eliminations and then go on to WrestleMania and fight John Cena. Not for the title. I don't believe Lars will win the championship, nor will John Cena get a championship before WrestleMania. But I see Lars making a big impact in the Royal Rumble, which is what we were talking about yesterday. Mm-hmm. Now, potential call-ups, not just for the Royal Rumble. We already got those 6, but after the fact, I see Aleister Black absolutely leaving because he lost his title and he has no ties to be stuck in
especially
NXT.
after he loses to Ciampa.
Right. He's done everything as an individual singles wrestler. He's won the title, held it for almost a half a year, 109 days, Ciampa was saying. And I think that'll continue. But I think Black will move up completely. I think there may be a couple others, maybe even Johnny in the long term if he loses, later on. I see he's really talented. Tommaso is just incredible. I love his promos, I love his work, and I can't stand the character. Does that make sense? Then he's doing a great job. I do like the way he's working the Puppet Master scene. And there's so much going on with the NXT Takeover on Saturday that I just wish it was here now.
Yeah, I'm excited for Black to possibly get called up. You pointed out all the obvious reasons. He has nothing left to do on NXT. You have my next prediction would be Undisputed Era. We talked a little bit about it earlier. They already got the titles. They don't need them anymore.
I think that those 4 could be in the Royal Rumble and potentially stay. They have Sanity up there, which they had great feuds over the last couple of years with Undisputed Era in the War Games and a couple others. That Sanity hasn't really been used too much. Right. But if you bring up Undisputed Era, they'll have some great feuds. I got to see them live in town, and wow, they put on an awesome match. So I look forward to that.
And do you have any other predictions for call-ups? I think those are the most obvious.
Those are the most obvious, and I'm going to leave them for now. I think that's all. But for what it's worth, there could be more. I'm not so sure that there will be more.
I don't see any more happening until after WrestleMania.
Right. I think after in the WrestleMania season, no more surprises for the Royal Rumble. But there may be on Monday night a surprise visit by Lars or someone of that category.
Oh yeah, I definitely see all of them in their respective Royal Rumble matches.
But where will they be? SmackDown, Raw, back to NXT. We saw Tyler Breeze go back to NXT for a title match against Ricochet.
Yeah, that was an interesting...
And it was. So maybe that'll happen. But for what it's worth, this was our NXT TakeOver Phoenix predictions and preview. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them. And I'll get back to you, or we'll both get back to you as soon as we get a chance. And please click like, subscribe, and hit the little bell for notifications so you'll know when our next videos come out. It's been fun. For what it's worth, I'm Mike. This is Justin. Thanks.